This is the Louie T Network.
In the lab room.
Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 12 in the National Football League. It is Friday. You know what that means. Normally, there's a recap for you. I've already done that in a separate video, but I will say this. New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons didn't unfold the way I thought it was going to. Look, bottom line is I got the W. I got my sole survivor pick for week number 12 correct. And that's something I haven't been able to do of late. So that right there in itself, enough to make me a happy man. But that was a really good football game. The Atlanta Falcons were game. They were ready to give it all they had and try to get a W on Thursday Night Football. They didn't embarrass themselves. They came out. They showed well. They just aren't a good enough football team to win. You know how it goes in this league. The bad teams find a way to lose. The good teams find a way to pull it out. That's essentially what happened in this game. You know the motto. Field goals don't win games. Touchdowns do. Both teams scored 3 times in this game. The difference is Falcons settled for 2 field goals and scored 1 touchdown. And the Saints scored 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal. That'll get you beat every single time. And so that's what it all boils down to. Falcons couldn't get it in the end zone. Saints did. Saints win the football game 17-13, which is huge. They stay atop that division in the NFC South. Do the New Orleans Saints with that W, and they keep the Carolina Panthers at bay. So no matter what the Panthers do, whether they win, they lose, they still will be behind the New Orleans Saints going into week number 13. And that matchup between those two teams in week 14, look, I don't know what the league is going to do. And I don't know what the Sunday night matchups look like down the road, but I will say this. I need one of those two matchups, Panthers, Saints, to be flexed to Sunday Night Football. Make that happen, NFL. I need to see one of those games on Sunday Night Football. Now, like I said, I don't know what the Sunday night schedule will be, and so I don't know who needs to be flexed out of that position or not. But somebody's got to go. I need to see one of those games. I don't care which one, Carolina at home, Saints at home, could care less. I just want one of those games on national television. I think the league and the nation deserve to see one of those matchups for that division unfold on Sunday Night Football. So, league, I'm talking to you. Make it happen. But I was able to get off to a good start for my Pick'em Weekly. That's what I'm here to do. Break down, quickly go over the Pick'em Weekly. Got off to a great start, and that's something I haven't been able to do 2 out of the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, lost the Arizona Cardinals against the Seattle Seahawks. Was able to rebound and win the following week. I lost the Redskins, Minnesota Vikings game. Now I lost the Tennessee game last week. So I've been struggling the last 2 weeks to just get off the ground. And the last 4 out of 5 times I've struggled to win Thursday night. Good to get this one under my belt. And again, this was a no-brainer. If I would have lost this one, I don't know where I would have turned to next. I mean, I would have been totally baffled if I couldn't find a way to pull this one out. But the Saints got it done, which means in turn, I got it done. So got off to a good start like that. Now let's get to the Pick'em Weekly for week number 12 in the National Football League. So Thursday Night Football already out of the way. Got a W. Saints took care of business. You look at Sunday's matchups. You start at Green Bay, where the Minnesota Vikings will be traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Chris Cook said it himself. The Packers are vulnerable in this game, and they absolutely are. After starting the season out 5-2, they've lost 3 consecutive games. No Aaron Rodgers, and again, no timetable. And that's the most important part. Forget about the fact that he hasn't played in the last 2, essentially 3 games, because you don't even need to count that Bears game. He went out after the first possession. Forget about the fact that he hasn't played in the last 3 weeks, and they've lost all 3 of those games. They haven't won without him. But the big picture here is, because that to me is the small picture. The big picture is there's no timetable set for his return. There's no talking about and no rumblings about when this guy will be back. He's just not. And he's out indefinitely. Haven't heard a word. And again, when you crack your collarbone, there's no such thing as a minor crack in your collarbone. You crack your collarbone, you've broken your collarbone, and it has to fully heal before you can get back out there. So it could be a while. I mean, he could be done for the year. He could be done for another 3 weeks. And again, they don't have that time in that division to waste. They don't have that kind of time to allow to go by. He has to be back as soon as possible, and if he's not, this season is a wash and a waste for the Green Bay Packers because they just aren't good enough without Aaron Rodgers. He is too much to that team for them to win. And I said all of that to say this. I don't trust the Minnesota Vikings on the road in Green Bay, and I hate picking the Packers because the last 2 weeks, I picked them 2 weeks ago against Philadelphia. They lost. And then I turned around and I thought to myself, I don't think it's a good idea to pick them on the road. So I picked the Giants and the Giants won. Now they're back home at Lambeau. I'm not sure if Minnesota is that bad and they can't win this game, but Adrian Peterson, hurt groin, Christian Ponder, turnover machine. If the Packers defensively can do enough in this game, and I don't see why they can't, they know these guys in the Vikings very well. If Adrian Peterson has a field day, then there's nothing you can do about it. But the last time these two teams met, the Packers couldn't stop the Vikings, and the Vikings couldn't stop the Packers, and the Packers outscored them. So I'm not sure if Minnesota can't do the same thing at Lambeau. This is a toss-up. I'm taking the home team. When I don't know, I go with the home team. Give me the Packers in this one to find a way to get it done. This one scares me, though. But I don't trust Scott Tolzien. I don't know Scott Tolzien. And when I don't know you, I don't trust you. But I don't trust Christian Ponder either. So you're splitting hairs here. Just give me the Packers. They're at home. I'll take the Packers in that one. Next game up, Ravens taking on the New York Jets. Jets have been on that win one, lose one plan, as Rex Ryan stated before the bye. I'm not a subscriber into that notion that they win one, lose one, win one, even though that's what they've done all season long. I don't care. They're on the road, and I don't trust Geno Smith on the road. And I've said that already, and I'll continue to reiterate that until people start listening to me. He's a different quarterback at home. On the road, he's been abysmal. Aside from that Atlanta Falcons game on Monday night where he was stellar and the Falcons didn't make him do anything. They allowed him to throw to wide open targets. They didn't pressure him, which is what the Falcons have done all season long. He was stellar in that game. Aside from that road game, Geno Smith has been abysmal on the road. I expect this Ravens defense, which isn't half bad, to go out and pressure him, force him into some mistakes, and really make life miserable for him in this game. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. And look, this Ravens offense is anemic. They need help in the worst way, but this Jets defense is really good. So that's a really good matchup for the Jets. I just don't see them going out on the road and winning. I expect Geno Smith to make enough mistakes because I expect Joe Flacco to make some mistakes in this game. This Jets defense is really good. But I expect Geno Smith to make more mistakes and allow the Baltimore Ravens to somehow win this game. Close, but they'll win it in any event. Give me the Ravens at home to take care of business. Look at the next matchup. Family business, AFC West style, San Diego Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs coming off their first loss of the season at Denver. This is a really good Kansas City Chiefs defense. We already know that. The offense leaves a lot left to be desired, but they do enough because of how good this defense is. San Diego can't score points now. All of a sudden, they can't get it in the end zone. And they went from scoring 33 and 30 and 27 every week to being reduced to 13 and 17. And they just can't score enough points. And this is the wrong week to not be able to score enough points because the Chiefs aren't going to give you any points. Give me Kansas City at home to take care of a little bit of family business, get to 10-1 on the season, and set up a huge matchup versus the Denver Broncos at Arrowhead in week number 13. Look at the next matchup. Houston versus Jacksonville. The Dust Bowl. Two bad football teams squaring off. It's family business, AFC South style. Both of these teams know each other all too well. This could be a game full of fireworks. The last time these two teams met in Houston a season ago, the score was something like 43-37 in overtime. And so these teams could rev it up against each other. Again, they know each other very well. I really don't know what to expect, but I do know this. Case Keenum got the nod. He's starting. And if Case Keenum's starting, give me the Houston Texans to win this football game and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking Houston at home to snap that 8-game losing streak against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You look at the next matchup. Chicago on the road at St. Louis. This is a dangerous game for the Chicago Bears. Rams coming off the bye. They're running the football with Zach Stacy. They're getting some competent play. This is a matchup between two backup quarterbacks. Josh McCown in Chicago and Kellen Clemens in St. Louis. If you ask me, I'm taking Josh McCown as the backup quarterback that I trust the most. Kellen Clemens hasn't done anything egregious in his 3 starts since taking over from the Sam Bradford injury, but he doesn't do enough. He's babysitting right now. And you know what? Give me Josh McCown and this Chicago Bears team to find a way to get it done. I don't know why I'm picking them, because this Rams team can get after the quarterback. And as good as the Bears offensive line has been this year, I have an inkling that they're going to give up some pressure in this game, and McCown is going to find it hard to have time to get the ball to his big play receivers, Jeffrey and Marshall. But give me Chicago. They're the better team. They're supposed to win. Give me Chicago. The bye this season has been overrated for teams. Give me Chicago to go into St. Louis and find a way to get it done. You look at the next game. Carolina on the road versus the Miami Dolphins. Here is a Carolina Panthers team that has won 6 in a row. Started the season 1-3. Now they're 7-3. One of the hottest teams in the league, going up against a very solid 5-5 Miami Dolphins football team. Joe Philbin has kept this ship afloat amid all of the controversy. They found a way to win last week against San Diego. This is a really good Miami Dolphins team, but this is an even better Carolina Panthers team. I think the Panthers will find a way to get this done. I want to see how the Panthers handle the success of winning on Monday night, of beating San Francisco 2 weeks ago. How they handle the success of the camera crews and all of the media, really jumping on the bandwagon. How do they handle the success of everyone telling them that they're good? Now, I want to see how they step up. I asked the same question and I posed the same challenge to Detroit a week ago on the road versus Pittsburgh, and they laid an egg. Let's see if Carolina can avoid the same pitfalls that the Detroit Lions fell into a week ago when they lost on the road to Pittsburgh. And again, don't overlook this Dolphins team. They're talented enough to get it done. I think the difference in the game for me is the offensive line of the Dolphins versus this front 7 of the Panthers. This front 7 of the Panthers might be the best in the league. This Dolphins offensive line might be the worst in the league. I expect Tannehill to see the game from his back. Give me the Panthers on the road to find a way to get it done. You look at the next matchup. Pittsburgh on the road against Cleveland. Family business. This is a scary game for me because I do not trust the Steelers. And the Cleveland Browns, albeit Jason Campbell is the quarterback, the caretaker Campbell, he can get it done in a situation where these two teams know each other well. Steelers probably won't score a lot of points in this game because the Browns defense will show up. This could be a dangerous game right here. I feel like the Browns, if they want it, this game is there for the taking. However, I don't trust the Browns. I don't trust Jason Campbell. The Steelers are playing better football of late, winners of 2 straight. Give me the Steelers on the road to find a way to win. I probably will regret that one, but I'm taking the Steelers because I trust the Steelers and I don't trust the Cleveland Browns without a legitimate quarterback. Give me the Steelers on the road. Detroit hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, the Detroit Lions coming off of a bad loss on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that was a game that was winnable for them. They probably should have won that game. I think some coaching errors there might have set them back. Matthew Stafford was not sharp in the second half. They lose the football game. Now they're at home against a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has a little bit of a resurgence going. 2 straight wins after starting the season 0-8. They have some confidence now. They're feeling good about themselves. Really don't know how well they're going to play away from Tampa Bay, away from Raymond James Stadium. They've been playing good football at home. That's where the 2 wins have come. Now they got to go on the road and try to get a win. Don't see it happening. Give me Detroit to bounce back after the loss and get it done at home versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You look at the next matchup. Oakland Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, at home hosting the Tennessee Titans. Much like Chicago versus St. Louis, this is a game featuring 2 backup quarterbacks. Which one you rolling with? Are you going with Matt McGloin, potentially AKA the redhead assassin? Or are you going with steady, but, the wild card, Ryan Fitzpatrick in Tennessee? I think as mad as I want to say, give me the veteran that I trust. The Raiders are at home. The Raiders defensively, I think, can get after Ryan Fitzpatrick and force the issue. The key for the Raiders is don't let Chris Johnson get off. Make Ryan Fitzpatrick beat you. Make him make plays and force him into some mistakes. I like the Raiders at home. And look, if the Raiders are serious about trying to make a push and start using the P word, and again, they're not at 500, so I won't even acknowledge that and entertain it quite yet. But if they're serious about making a push, They got to have this one at home versus a backup quarterback. And if Matt McGloin is serious about staking his claim as the Oakland Raiders starter potentially, needs to have a good showing in his first game in the black hole. Give me the Raiders to find a way to take care of business at home versus the Tennessee Titans. You look at the next matchup. Arizona Cardinals at home hosting the Indianapolis Colts. It's Bruce Arians' Bowl. Number one. Now, Arians came over from Indy a season ago where he was the interim head coach essentially. As the offensive coordinator, he took over the duties when Chuck Pagano was out dealing with his leukemia bout. And so he essentially was the head coach there. Now he's the head coach in Arizona. This is a dangerous Arizona Cardinals team. No one's talking about their defense, but quietly, they're one of the better defenses in the league. And I've already told you this on several occasions, and I'll tell you again, they're a dangerous team at home. They're starting to get confidence. And hey, what do you know? Carson Palmer didn't throw a pick last week. Now that streak might come to an end at 1, but nonetheless, he's playing with a little more confidence. Michael Floyd is starting to emerge. They're getting Rob Hausler involved. We already know what El Boogie can do on the football field. The Colts, to me, still have some questions to answer. Hey, they put up 30 last week without Reginald Wayne, but that was family business. That was the Tennessee Titans. This is a different animal, one that can get after the quarterback and make life miserable for Andrew Luck. I don't like the Colts in this spot. I don't like their offense without Reggie Wayne. I still need to see more. They have to validate for me. And last week, they kind of started to get me to open my eyes to the fact that they have guys and they'll devise ways to get the football in other players' hands and take the pressure off of Andrew Luck in the absence of Reginald Wayne. So now I need to see more. But until I see more, and the Cardinals are at home, and the Cardinals play really good defense, and I think they can force the issue against this Indianapolis Colts team, give me the Arizona Cardinals at home to win that football game. You look at the next matchup. Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. And this is a big game in the NFC East. Everyone wants to talk about how bad this division is. But if you look around the league, this division isn't that bad any longer. You look around and there's the 6-5 Philadelphia Eagles, the 5-5 Cowboys, and don't look now, winners of 4 straight, the 4-6 New York Football Giants. If they win this game, guess what? They would have tied the Dallas Cowboys in this division, and these two teams would have split the season series. So this is a huge game if the Giants want to try to climb within a game of 500 on the season. And I have written this Giants team off already, and I said that they were done. And I still don't trust Eli Manning, even though Eli Manning didn't look that bad. He did throw a pick last week, but that was a miscommunication. The running game is starting to come along. Guys are getting healthy. Maybe, just maybe, the Giants are coming along, but I don't trust them. Cowboys coming off the bye. I think that the Cowboys are the better team between these two, even though they're banged up and they have a lot of guys out. Give me the Dallas Cowboys on the road to find a way to get it done. I might regret that one, but again, this is my family business. I know about the NFC East, and I think the Dallas Cowboys can get it done. Give me the Cowboys on the road to try to go and get a win and put the Giants back in their place after this 4-game winning streak. You look at Sunday Night Football. It's Brady, it's Manning, it's the Brady Manning Bowl, it's number 14. It's huge business. It's a big deal. It's huge for a lot of different reasons. For the Patriots, you're trying to get one of those first round buys. You're trying to stake your claim as a team that could really make a threat to get to the Super Bowl. For the Denver Broncos, you're looking to win your division, number one, because the Chiefs aren't going away. Number two, you're looking to secure some home field advantage as well. And number three, you need to be able to beat Tom Brady in New England, just in case it comes to that. Who knows how this season is going to unfold? Who knows if you got to travel to Foxborough in January and get a win? You need this game if you're Denver for your psyche. You went to New England last year. They plastered you. You need to find a way to get it done in New England. I have an eerie feeling about this game. I really do. The Denver Broncos should win this game. They're the better team, if you ask me. But it just seems like there's something about Manning in New England. There's something about Brady and Belichick versus Peyton Manning at home. They own him when they're at home. I wrestled back and forth with this game. I really did. At first I said, no way Denver loses this game. Give me the Broncos. But after that loss on Monday night, they're getting healthy. The New England Patriots are a dangerous team and they're at home. You're twisting my arm here. Give me the Patriots at home to find a way to beat the Denver Broncos. I'll probably regret that one. My gut says Broncos, but my head, this noggin up here, says Patriots. Get it done. I'm going with the Patriots at home to avenge that loss from Monday night. Give me the Patriots at home. Monday Night Football. San Francisco 49ers at the Washington Redskins. There's a firestorm in Washington right now. A lot of controversy, a lot of things going on that have absolutely nothing to do with football on the field. It is annoying. All of that noise. Trying to drown it out. If you're San Francisco, it's equally as loud in your locker room, outside of your locker room. A lot of people are starting to doubt this 49ers team. A lot of people are starting to doubt Colin Kaepernick as a passing threat in this league. And I tell those people, sit back and relax. The young man is fine. He's still, you got to keep in mind, he's still playing in his first full NFL season. I think people jumped the gun on the success of last season. I came out and said that a lot of these read option quarterbacks in their second year, and Kaepernick is in his third, but this is his second year really playing, we're going to struggle. Robert has struggled. Kaepernick has struggled. To a certain degree, Russell Wilson has struggled, even though he's played really well and been consistent, probably the most consistent of all of those read option quarterbacks. But these two quarterbacks in particular had a lot going for them when this season started. A lot of expectations for these two teams, and especially these two quarterbacks. They haven't lived up to the hype. And so this is a game that is going to see two teams really looking to right the ship. If you're Washington, the season is already over in my eyes, in my estimation. And so you're looking to save face. You're looking to try to get back to respectability. Right now, you're a joke. If you're San Francisco, 2 losses in a row, and now you're in danger of falling out of the NFC playoff picture. I mean, you're clinging to a wild card spot right now. You're not going to win that division. Seattle has run away, and they've hid with that division. It's too late for that. Now you got to worry about fending off the Arizona Cardinals, who you have to go to later on in this season. And so you got problems of your own. You can't afford to drop your 3rd straight game. And as a Redskins fan, I've been programmed mentally to expect the worst, hope for the best. So in doing that, I always expect us to lose, hope that we win, and that hasn't changed in this game. The 49ers, to me, are the better football team. They're supposed to win this game. Give me the 49ers on the road on Monday night to take care of the Washington Redskins, put pressure on Robert Griffin III, and kind of fluster him a little bit, maybe force him into a couple of turnovers and win this football game. Give me the 49ers on the road, traveling to the East Coast to get it done and snap that 2-game winning streak and really start to get the ball rolling at the end of the season and try to make a postseason push. So that's going to do it for my Pick'em Weekly. Feel really confident about my picks. I think I did a really good job of mixing in home teams and road teams. Again, normally the home team is victorious. So you don't want to go too far on the left with these road teams. They'll get you in trouble. I think I did a great job of picking out a few road teams that I think can go on the road and get it done. So I feel really confident about this Pick'em Weekly, and I think I'll do a really solid job of hammering home a lot of victories this week. Feel really good about my picks. So now, go ahead, toss it up. Let's tack on this quick extra point. And for the extra point, Michael Vick has come out and said, hey, believe Nicholas Foles deserves to be the starting quarterback in Philadelphia. That's really big of Michael because he's a guy that you know wants to play, and he's been adamant about his role as a leader on that team and as the starter of the Philadelphia Eagles. However, you can't deny when a guy is hot. And when you're hot, you're hot. And when you're not, you're not. And right now, Michael Vick is not because he's been injured. And Mr. Foles has been hot, piping hot, in fact. And so you got to give it up. When a guy's thrown 17 touchdown passes, no interceptions to start a season, what can you do? You can't sit the guy down after that. So I think it's a no-brainer in Philly right now, whether Vick is healthy or not. Good to have 2 healthy quarterbacks if you're the Eagles. But Nicholas Foles is the guy until otherwise. And so I'm not fully sold on his ability to make that offense work at its maximum efficiency because I don't think they've played that good a competition during this winning streak that they've had and the success he's really enjoyed. But that doesn't matter. You can only play who they put in front of you, and he's taking care of business. So imaginary tip of the cap to him. He's been playing lights out football, and if you're the Eagles, you want him to continue to do that. But I think they'll have a stretch of football coming up here shortly where he'll be tested. They'll play some good teams, and if he can continue to play that way and they make it to the postseason and win this division, then I'll have no choice but to give that man his just due and all the credit in the world. But until I see the finished product in Philadelphia, not buying what I'm seeing right now, what they're trying to sell me, but he's playing some extremely good football. And not only have I and the rest of the league taken notice, but Michael Vick has taken notice as well, and he's relinquished that job to Nicholas Foles. So that's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me on this Friday. What a beautiful day it has been, and it's going to be an even better night because I'm going to break down that Redskins whole situation on the Redskins Report open forum at 9 p.m. Join me if you get a chance. If not, you can always watch it on replay. It's not going anywhere. I'll be there, though. Hope you will, too. And that's my Pick'em Weekly. Send me your picks. If you want to be a part of this thing, definitely send me your picks. And so I'll be looking forward to you guys sending me your picks. I'll be looking forward to the football this weekend. And I know you will, too. And we'll come back and break it all down on Monday. See you then. Like the content? Want more? Sub up.
In the Lab Room.